Do you know how to put on one of these? Because if you don't, and that's what you want to know, then stay watching. But make sure that you stay to the end, because I'm going to show you a nifty trick for taking it off and teaching manners at the same time. Hi, my name's Amber and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to show you how to put on a rope halter, which is my choice of headgear for any work that I'm doing, purely because it doesn't have constant pressure on the horse's face and large amounts of pressure in any place. There are a lot of other training halters on the market, but personally I find this works best because when you want to apply pressure, as soon as you release it, it's gone. So we have a halter over here, and from the base is where our lead rope is clipped onto. We can then find two knots either end of a double-stranded, what we could call a nose band. That's where a horse's nose is going to come through. Up on the right hand side there will be a long strap, that's what's going to come around over the top of their pole, and on the left hand side we've got like an eye, which is where that strap will loop into. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my rope over her neck so that it is not dangling on the floor. I then like to bring my long part of the rope up across the other side, so I've got it round her neck like that. From then, where we've got our two knots over here, that's where her nose is going to go through. I'm going to bring her nose through there, and straight away my long piece of rope is already sitting up by the pole. Some people might put the nose through first and then fling the rope over the top of the head, but for some horses that can give them a bit of a fright as this comes back and hits them on the head. From there, this long piece of rope needs to fit through that eye, and we're then going to just adjust so that this throat lash part comes up by the throat, and bring that higher up, keeping the strap up by the pole. And our knots over here should sit nice and evenly over each side of the horse's face, and it shouldn't be sitting too low down on the soft cartilage on the horse's nose. That would be quite dangerous for them if you then did put pressure on the head collar and damage the cartilage. So once we've got that through, we're going to lift the rope upwards and make a D shape. The long piece of rope can come around the back and through that gap as you then tie it off towards the horse's back end. So once we've got this tied, it is important that this is heading back towards the horse's back end and not sticking forward towards their eye. If I needed to sort of wrap it round again because I felt it was too long, I can do that. But the key part there is that is not going towards a horse's eye. The other point, specifically about the way you tie it, of making our D, bringing it round and through towards the back, is that the knot is tied onto the actual eye part as opposed to up at the top. If the knot is sitting up here rather than down here, and the horse pulls back at any point, the knot up here is going to get tighter and tighter and tighter to the point that you won't be able to undo it and it would have to be cut off. This is always easier to undo because we can push from the back to loosen it. So I said that I'm going to show you a neat trick for taking this head collar off and teaching manners at the same time. But before I do that, please make sure to give this video a like and subscribe down below, and that way you can be notified when I've got new videos coming for all these different training tips and techniques. So to take our head collar off, whether that is inside the stable, whether it's in the field, what I like to always do is encourage my horse to actually turn its head round to face me, and in that sense they're able to relax, drop their head down and take the head collar off in a good place, rather than having them staring off into middle distance, into the middle of the field and bombing off the moment their head collar comes off. So I'm going to start by where this knot is, push from behind to loosen the knot. I will then undo the long piece, but I'm still holding the head collar up on her face. From there, bring this down slightly but lower on her neck, and I'm just going to gently encourage her to bring her nose towards me, good girl, and then lower it off her head. That way she's in a really good chilled out space and almost saying to me, yep, I'm ready to come round, have the head collar off before she wanders off. Thanks so much for watching this video. I really hope that you've found it interesting and useful, and that you now know how to put on a rope halter correctly. Ready?
Mm-hmm.